Okay, so I'm headed out. I'm getting in the car. I had another video planned for today. It's going to be a little change of plan here, but um, I was able to. I was just kind of going around, looking around on Facebook Marketplace last night, which is not a good idea always, but whatever. I just wanted to see, and I was able to find a listing, and this person just kind of said, make a reasonable offer. And this is a very interesting camera, and it kind of feeds into my Pentax obsession. And it's like, do you need more cameras? Absolutely not, but I really want more cameras, and this is what I've wanted for a long time. And ultimately I want all the Pentax cameras. I love Pentax old film SLRs so much, but this is just going to be kind of a deal, and hopefully we'll even get to start shooting today. So let's go. Alright, I'm still not back home from our little excursion, but I figured I'd just stop here because we're back at Fort Vancouver National Site. I want to show off what I got, and maybe, just maybe, we take a couple pictures. I don't know. So, this was on a Facebook Marketplace, and this is the headline: Pentax K1000 SE. The K1000 is interesting because it is completely manual. Look, I think that's the ISO. Is that ISO? I'm not even sure how to use this, to be honest. We're gonna have some experimentation. Oh, there's ISO. So you could set the ISO, you could set the shutter speed, and that is about it. It's got manual shutter speeds from 1 second all the way up to 1/1000th of a second. It does take a battery. I assume it's got some kind of light meter. It does in fact have a light meter, but I'm not sure there's any battery in here. There is a battery in here, so we're gonna find out about that. I did bring along, just because I have a spare one, the Pentax 50mm 1.7, which was literally designed for this camera, so I thought that was fitting, although I'll need a little cloth here. So there it is, back in all its glory. Also got I got a flash unit. It's an AF160SA, which literally is a Pentax flash unit designed for Pentax cameras. So that's going to be handy. And then she also had some film. This is Kodak Elite Chrome. We've got 200 and 400. And the interesting thing about Elite Chrome is it's color positive film. So, it's not slide film. So whereas most cameras shoot in, or most film exposes a negative of the color that you're trying to get, this actually exposes the positive of it. Now, this stuff, the Elite Chrome, this is expired by like 23 years. So trying to get something out of this is going to be questionable, but I figured I'd ask. She threw it in. She threw in a bag as well, which is great. And then I've got this PhotoWorks color print film, 24 exposure, ISO 200, developed promptly at PhotoWorks, Seattle, Washington. But I mean, there's no expiration date. This is sealed, but I don't know how it's stored. So that could be an interesting one. Oh, used by September 2002. But, you know, I was like, we have it. We have this film. We have a new camera. Ooh, that is glorious in there. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. So I'm doing it. Just guys do that. Definitely gonna hold on to the box. Dude, this stuff is so old. Okay, now this doesn't have the magic needles like the Super Program and the ME Super do, but get it there. Oh, this is gonna be complex. Damn it. Oh, perfect. There's a pretty big splotch of something right in the viewfinder. Just see that. Big thing in there. Just needs a little cleaning. But then you can see that light meter on the side is pretty understandable. So I like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go walk around, take a few shots, see what happens. Yeah, honestly, compared to the Super Program, it's annoying how good this light meter is. It's just so simple to understand. I don't need the 80s LCD screen to be teaching me or showing me how under or overexposed I am. Like, just a needle. It works totally fine. And this camera doesn't require a battery to fire, which I deeply enjoy. I'm gonna try to get some of this fall color here. Oh, this big tree right in the middle might be the way to go. Let's see. Like, I'm putting a lot of effort into this, but it's basically just practice because there's no way of knowing if this film will work. I don't even know if it's advancing correctly, to be honest. So, we're all learning here. But the camera works either way. I don't know. I don't know if any of this is gonna work. There's no way to know. I mean, I guess if it's counting more frames, then the film is pulling the sprockets. So that is all working correctly, from what I can tell. Yeah, look at these trees right here. That's it, overexposed. Again, I'm kind of overexposing everything, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't know how color positive film works. I don't know if this is gonna do anything, to be honest with you. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done with this roll already. And that's fine. I think that's what I wanted to do here. Just shoot one of these rolls of elite chrome, color positive Kodak film. Look at that. It's fulfilling my very fall spooky vibes right now. We are 2 days from Halloween. I'm feeling it with these kind of almost southern plantation style houses. One built in 1886 apparently. And then the fall colors, it's giving me pretty good like East Coast small town vibes. Halloween-y vibes. Nope, it'll be a real shame if none of these turn out, to be honest, but oh well. Alright, so we've hit the end of the film here, so I'm going to hit the film release button on the bottom, which engages the sprocket, hit the winder, start winding. That's a crazy noise. And, moment of truth. Hey, and I even kept the leader in there. Alright, that was 200, I was only shooting at 100, so I don't know, we'll see. But it was fun, even if it doesn't work. If all this film is fried, I can just use it as test rolls for things. But anyway guys, that's my camera haul for today. K1000. I already had the lens, 4 rolls of film, a film bag, and a flash that is built for this camera. So, you know, cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. But Charlie, what is the point? I just wanted to pop back on and add a little bit to the end of this video because I want to kind of compare my 3 Pentax film SLRs to kind of explain why I got them, or why I got the 2 that I got. It's kind of from like an outsider's perspective, or from a certain perspective, Pentax is the little brother. It is not the Canon or the Nikon of the Japanese SLR world. It is the third. It is the other one, the one that failed in a certain way. Pentax was eventually bought by Ricoh Imaging, and to their credit, they still make Pentax DSLRs and other Pentax cameras. Ricoh started as like a kind of a background player where they were making cameras that were basically rip-offs, maybe not rip-offs, but copies of Pentax cameras, and they have had a line of SLRs that use Pentax K mount lenses. So
I'm gonna go through these three Pentax cameras that I own, and just talk about why I like them individually and what they kind of all mean to me together, and why I even had them. I mean, like I said, the Pentax ME Super. This was given to me, and I would never have known about it. And given a choice of an older SLR like this, I might not have chosen this one. But since having it and handling it and using it a lot, I love it. I truly love it. I've taken some really good pictures with this, actually. It's kind of an in-betweener where it does have a full manual mode, so you know, kind of how I taught myself manual photography. But also it's got electronic shutter buttons. It's got an auto mode, which is an aperture priority. You just set the aperture on the camera and it decides the shutter speed for you, and it will tell you with a really nice, easy LED light meter inside. It'll tell you what it thinks, like if it's going to be overexposed or what it thinks. It's kind of the best of both worlds. It's such a easy camera to understand, but it takes just glorious pictures. Yeah, I love this camera a lot. But so that camera probably came out in the 80s. I know the Super program came out in 83, so I think the ME Super came out in like 81 or 80, possibly. Now the Pentax K1000 started production in 76. This camera is known as a really good learner camera because, I mean, you can see the design similarities, but this camera is quite a bit smaller than this camera. But this camera is, like I mentioned yesterday, this camera is all manual. You have to set the shutter speed, set your aperture, set your ISO, all by yourself. It does have a light meter. It's a center the needle, so you kind of saw earlier. You move the needle up and down by changing your aperture or your shutter speed. And the Super program then is the most advanced of the three, where it's got a manual mode, it's got the aperture auto mode, but if you use Pentax A lenses, which are kind of rare, I'm finding out, the auto mode is a full auto mode where it'll even change the aperture of the lens for you. You just have to set the ISO. Very interesting. The light meter I've talked about. It's two LCD screens. You're not gonna be able to see them probably. Down in the bottom of the viewfinder, and one tells you your current shutter speed, and one tells you if you're +1, -1. Like I've explained it to you, but it's just kind of hard to see. I wish it wasn't so difficult to look at. And then you set the shutter speed. Yeah, so shutter speed 8. But auto mode will get you there. It's gonna figure it out. It's got a LCD, little LCD there. I explained this before. That tells you your current shutter speed. And then there's your current shot window. This is the current shot window on the ME Super. Now the K1000 switched it up, or had a different thing where this is the shot window. I like that quite a lot. It looks really cool. Mechanical. I mean, they're all mechanical, but it's more like a watch gear or something. K1000's got a mechanical horizontal cloth shutter, 1 second to 1/1000th of a second. The ME Super is an electronic vertical travel metal shutter, from 1 second to 1/2000th of a second. Super program electronic vertical metal shutter, 15 seconds to 1/2000th of a second, and bulb mode. I think this. Oh yeah, ME Super's got a bulb mode for sure, but I never take it off auto, so I don't know. Forgot. Oh, there's a yeah. So bulb mode, that means it'll stay open as long as you hold it. K1000 has a flash sync speed of 1/60th of a second. That means if you're using flash, you have to set this to 1/60th, and there it will stay. Which is fine. ME Super has a dedicated 1/125th mode on the mode dial. You just set it, and that's your flash sync speed. Beautiful. And then Super Program, same thing, on 1/125th, but that's approximately, it's closer to like actually 1/90th, I guess. I don't know. So K1000, it's fully operational without a battery unless you want to use the meter. The meter takes one LR44 standard watch battery available in any store. That's all you need. Winding the shutter winds the, the whole thing besides just the meter. The ME Super, I think in certain modes, if you set it to manual mode, if you don't want to use hold on, the ME Super, if it doesn't have batteries, it will fire still. And same thing, the battery or the light meter won't work, obviously, because there's a bunch of LEDs. But if you have no battery, it's just going to fire at 1/125th kind of constantly. Because it requires these buttons to change the shutter speed. So it'll work in a manner of speaking, but you can't change the shutter speed, unlike the K1000, which will work with no batteries, and you can change the shutter speed. Super Program won't even fire without any batteries. It's just because it got more advanced. It's the most advanced, so it needs it. All right. Battery. So the K1000, I mean, it's a learning camera. It's super basic, but thousands of people have learned how to use a camera with this camera. I mean, how to do manual photography. I would compare this almost. This is a Nikon FM10 with an all plastic body, and it's very similar, where it's just an ISO dial, a shutter dial, and your lens. And this is also, this isn't really a Nikon. I mean, it takes Nikon glass, maybe, Nikon lenses, but this is just a plastic body that was branded Nikon, and that's why it's the only Nikon I own, because it's not really Nikon, and I found it at Google. It's a learner camera. This is how you teach someone the basics of manual photography. You just hand them this and they'll get it. So this camera is this camera, but this camera is all metal. It is rugged and durable. It's like a composite aluminum material. It's probably 50 years old. It'll keep working. The ME Super is, again, I want to point out just how much smaller. This is the K1000. This is the ME Super. Very similar aesthetic wise. Smaller, lighter. I don't know how this is lighter. It's got electronic components, but this is pretty thick. Smaller and lighter. Some auto features. Again, middle of the road. When this came out, they were advertising it like crazy. And the advertising was, so easy a kid can take a picture or two, just put it on auto and hand it to a child. They'll be fine. And then the Super Program, it just gets more advanced through the lens, flash metering, depth of field preview. You got LCDs in the viewfinder and on the side. This was just the upgrade. And the commercials for this one, they list all these features. I love the hand grip. It just makes it that much easier to hold. And they keep the design aspects from the ME Super, where these are of equal weight. Maybe this is a little heavier, but the sizes are the same. And the little difference to the prism on top, but that's about it. And again, this is super program is smaller than the K1000. So I just like these because they're not Nikons, they're not Canon, they're their own thing. They were experimenting, they were learning, and they pushed the boundaries. You know, Asahi, Pentax optical company, they made a bunch of innovations in the camera space that then other camera companies took and ran with very early on in the 60s when these SLRs were becoming very popular. And we don't even think about it. We don't like the company just kind of died, unfortunately. So anyway, just wanted to go through a little bit more about the camera. Had a lot of fun shooting this. I put another roll of that expired film in there, and if anything comes back from that expired film, I'll be sure to let you know.